Hi, my name is Rebecca Woods, and I'm a sophomore communication sciences and disorders major, minoring in linguistics and psychology. I researched the causes of, issues with, and solutions for cleft lip and cleft palate in the underdeveloped world. The mystery behind what causes cleft lip and cleft palate is what makes it such an interesting topic to me, and I knew I wanted to look further into it. To start, I want to define what cleft lip and cleft palate are. They're openings or splits in the upper lip, roof of the mouth, also better known as the palate, or both. It's the result of an incomplete fusion of tissues during fetal development. Lips are usually formed between the 4th and 7th weeks of development, and the hard palate is formed between the 6th and 9th weeks. As the fetus matures, body tissues and special cells from either side of the head grow in towards the center, forming the face. Depending on how the tissues do or do not fuse, decide the severity and type of cleft. A unilateral cleft is only on one side of the face, whereas a bilateral cleft crosses from both the left and right sides of the face. For cleft lips, there is a complete cleft and an incomplete cleft. An incomplete cleft lip is an opening only in the lip, whereas a complete cleft runs from the lip up into the nostril. Cleft lips and palates are among some of the most common birth defects around the world. As you can see here, the child has a right unilateral complete cleft lip along with a cleft palate. There are many challenges that come with having a cleft lip and/or palate. Some include difficulty eating and drinking, ear infections and hearing loss, speech language issues and delays, dental problems, and lack of social acceptance. Difficulty eating and drinking and dental problems can cause physical growth setbacks. Ear infections and hearing loss, as well as speech language issues and delays, cause mental and educational setbacks. Lastly, lack of social acceptance, which is common for those with physical deformities in underdeveloped countries, face emotional setbacks. This is tragically true, as a lack of knowledge usually leads to a lack of acceptance. Unfortunately, as of today, there is no definite known cause of cleft lip and cleft palate. After some research, though, it is believed to be a cause by a mix of genetic and environmental factors. Family history, having diabetes, being obese during pregnancy, malnutrition, smoking and/or drinking while pregnant, and taking certain medications all increase the likelihood of your child having a cleft lip and/or cleft palate. If the mother isn't healthy, the fetus will more than likely be unhealthy or not developing correctly. Going into this presentation, I believed that being born with a cleft lip or cleft palate was way more common in underdeveloped countries than it is in developed countries. But I found, however, that it really isn't that much more common. It's true that there's a slightly higher percentage because of a lack of proper nutrition and medical care, but it's a common birth defect everywhere. Although, due to a lack of medical care, babies born with a cleft lip or cleft palate are unable to have it surgically fixed like those in developed countries can. In the United States, most babies undergo reconstructive surgery within the first 3 months to have it corrected. Most families in underdeveloped countries don't have access to these resources, so the children are forced to live with the deformity if they are even able to survive. This is why we see more children and adults with clefts in underdeveloped countries than we do in developed ones, making it seem like it's so much more common when it's really not. Now we ask the most important question: what can developed countries do to help? One thing we can do is provide funding for and medical supplies, as well as the knowledge needed for reconstructive surgeries. Operation Smile is one organization that's already doing so. For 35 years, they've been providing life-saving reconstructive surgeries globally and raising money to ensure that every surgery is free of charge to the family. Another way to help is by sending folic acid supplements and multivitamins to areas in need. Folic acid is proven to aid in and foster fetal development. And then multivitamins will make sure the mother is receiving the proper nutrients to help the baby survive. Thirdly, we can continue our efforts to make healthy, nutrient-rich foods accessible. Genetically modified crops, although controversial, are a great source of so many nutrients. They last longer than other non-modified crops and can grow in less than ideal conditions. Some of the GM crops available today include corn, apples, potatoes, soybeans, and squash. This way, less mothers will be malnourished, which will in turn possibly prevent clefts. Finally, we need to do more research into cleft lips and cleft palates so that we can better understand how to prevent them, how to help them, and how to treat them. This by far is the most important and most impactful thing we can do. I would love to see a world where less and less babies every year are born with this debilitating deformity. Here is my list of references used, and thank you so much.